Hey guys, welcome to Homestead Prepping and Survival. Well, I let these two pens out today. I didn't let the first one out because I about had to kill a couple blue orphans yesterday for messing with the one I call Sue. But y'all know, I've seen where some roosters have spurs. I've never, that I remember, seen him mount a hen. He's older than these others. I've never heard him crow. I'm wondering if he's a hen because he keeps getting mounted by these blue orphan roosters. So I'm wondering if it's a hen that happens to have spurs. But anyway, it's not the point of the video today. The point of the video is a couple of things. One being, have your chickens started laying less? I don't buy the Tractor Supply feed. I have bought some from them when I didn't get back in time to go buy feed or whatever. That's before I stored as much as I do. But, you know, I showed y'all the video when I bought 8 bags and filled up my cans over here. And last week or the week before last, I bought 3 more and I refilled one of my cans, and I had started in the smaller, the yellow one there, and only used, the top little ring part of it. So I hadn't used much out of it, maybe half a bag, and I topped it off and filled it up and filled up this big black one. But ever since I bought the last 3 bags of feed, same brand, same place I normally buy it, my egg production has dropped. Guys, I was getting 14, 16 eggs a day, every day, without fail. I never dropped below 14 for several weeks. And I got these last 3 bags of feed, and right away, I use that can. That's just the first one I come to. And my egg production started dropping. Guys, it dropped down to where I got 13, then I got a 12, then I got a 10. And yesterday and the day before, I only got 8 each. So, down from 14 to 16, down to 8 to 10. And if I'm not mistaken, I had one day I only got 6. So in about a week and a half or so, my egg production got cut in pretty close to half. And I wasn't liking the looks of it. So I got out here yesterday, and I'd almost finished this can again, this first one. So I opened up the yellow one, and I took off the top 6 inches and put it back in this black can from the yellow one so I could get down to the feed I had before. And I just topped off all their feeders. Now, when I fill them up, they peck at the feed from the top, as long as they can get it from there. So the feed that I wasn't getting much eggs is at the bottom, and then the feed that I had before that is at the top. So they go through, this first pen anyway, goes through about a half a feeder a day. So I was thinking it would take a few days to see my egg production come back up. But guys, I got 14 eggs today. Literally by just putting some feed in there, and I threw some out for them yesterday like I always do. So I know every pen ate some of the feed that I had before these last 3 bags. And today I got 14 eggs, back up from 2 days in a row of, 6 or 8 or less, in that range. I'm wondering if there's something else other than just Tractor Supply feed issues going on. I'm wondering if, and y'all put your tinfoil hat on, wondering if the government's come out and said, hey, stop putting this in your chicken feed. Because I could see one supplier doing it, but multiple makes me think they're being told don't put this in your feed, which helps the chickens produce more eggs. So I know that's tinfoil hat wearing stuff, guys, but what do you think? Do you think I'm on to something? Am I just bat crazy, or what do you think's going on? Because I can honestly testify my egg production was cut in half for the last week and a half. And it was a drastic change from 14 to 16 down, quickly within a couple of days. And it stayed down really low. My daughter and I were talking about it the other day. And I'm like, I only got 6 eggs a day before. It happened quick. So maybe it's me. I know there's a lot of other YouTubers out there that have what they call backyard chickens that were having issues with feed. So just wondering what y'all have seen, if you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. I'm going to talk to my local guy at the feed supply when I go back up there, if I get a chance, Friday or Saturday morning, and see if I can't find out if their feed where he'd been buying it, changed the ingredients or what. But I will know when I get through with this yellow can and go back to the newer feed. If my egg production drops again, it's feed, guys. Nothing else has changed. Nothing else has changed. They've got plenty of straw they can peck at and eat. You see, I let them out. They've got green grass growing now, scratching for bugs and so on. That's the only thing that changed, was I bought new feed and I knew I was using the newer feed. So the second thing I wanted to bring up, so y'all let me know what you think of that, whether I'm crazy or is it happening. The second thing I want to bring up is the threat of an EMP. Guys, with all these supposedly spice balloons with satellites on them, whatever. While I'm wearing that tinfoil hat, what do you think the odds are of a foreign nation that's threatened to not nuke us, but to EMP us before, could put an EMP in one of those things, and you throw it up 40,000 feet, which is several miles, you could take out a third or more of the country with one on the power grid. Not to mention all the electronics and stuff that it'd get. Guys, the threat is real. Regardless of whether it ever happens or not, the threat is real, and the threat, in my opinion, is imminent. It's a matter of time before it happens. Never in history has humans invented a weapon they did not use. Ever since Cain killed Abel with a rock, we have found ways to use tools of some sort to kill others. And the EMP weapon's been around since, I think, the 50s, and it hadn't been used yet on a large scale. Come on, guys. We need to be prepping. We need to be prepping hard. And I've only got 28 chickens, and I was about ready to sacrifice a couple of roosters yesterday. But as soon as more babies are available for purchase, I'm going to buy some more. And I'll have to keep them in the brooder for, several weeks. Excuse me. Before they'll need a pen to go to. But with that being said, I'm going to be buying another couple dozen chickens, and I don't need 50 of them running around out here. So a lot of these are going to get butchered and put in the freezer. Their time is getting short. It's getting close, and it's because of necessity. I need to finish filling up one of my freezers and avoid the scalping prices that are being charged for this stuff now. But guys, I don't know what y'all think. I do appreciate your comments. Tell me if I'm just bat crap crazy or what, but we've got to do a better job of being prepared. We've got to do a better job of helping our neighbors be better prepared. And you need to be prepared for you and your family, but you also need to be prepared to help your neighbors and help your loved ones that aren't in your group, because they will come asking for help, period. And you know, I've always told everyone in my group, I'm prepared to give away drinking water as long as I can run my well, which would be with my off-grid or with the generator, or if I have to put the hand pump out there and pump it. I've always said that I would give away water because water is number one in my book for sanitation and for hydration in people. You can't go but 3 days without it. So that my thing is, I'm gonna give them water. They may need to barter with me for containers to put water in, but I'll give them water as long as I can pump more. And you know, I've got roughly 1,000 gallons stored total. I'm not going to give my supplies, but as long as I can pump more, I will give them water. And you know, if I've got fruit trees planted like I do now, and you know, start producing more fruit than I can use, we're going to can and put some up. We're going to freeze some. We're, you know, that kind of stuff. Excess, I will barter and trade with people because they will be hungry, and I'm not going to just turn people away. I'm not going to give up my family's needs, but I will help people when I can. And I think anybody that's got a good moral compass needs to do the same thing. So check your moral compass, guys. The Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself. So be prepared to help them. Get your house in order and continue prepping so you can help more people. And I've talked about this in a much older video, but I had a family member that both of them ended up losing their jobs out of nothing that they could control, really, but they both lost their jobs. And they went a good while, a year and a half, 2 years, with, you know, income barely enough to survive, and they could not afford to buy groceries. And I took and went to the grocery store with that family member several times, and I would buy the meats and the dairies and stuff from the store, but the canned goods and veggies and all that stuff I had stored, they shopped out of my storage. I've had, you know, my children have gotten food from my storage. So if you're prepping just for yourself and only you, you're missing the whole point about prepping. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna shut up. Let me know what you think about the chicken feed issue, whether it's a couple of companies or whether the government's getting involved saying, you know, change your formula. And what do you think about the threat of an EMP? Nuclear war has always been a threat, but I think the more imminent threat would be EMP with the way the world's going right now. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Send me emails, whatever it is. You know, I'll talk with you. I'd like to hear your input. And I appreciate y'all watching the videos. Remember what I always tell you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.